Hello, so this is my HMV model 125 gramophone dating from around 1925, and in this video I'm going to explain what it is and how you use it. This instrument here is entirely acoustic and mechanical. It doesn't use electricity, in other words, so as you can see there's no cables of any kind here, and it plays records like this. This is a 12-inch gramophone record, which is called a 78 because it's designed to play at 78 revolutions per minute. These discs were made of shellac, which is a kind of organic resin, which was the main material for manufacturing commercial records until about the 1950s, when it started to be replaced with polyvinyl chloride, aka vinyl. And this record, like most 78s, is two-sided. So there's music on both sides of this disc. The record that I'm going to play is a very well-known piece, of music, Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, performed by the Royal Albert Hall Orchestra, conducted by Sir Landon Ronald, which was recorded in 1926. Now, Beethoven's Fifth Symphony is more than 30 minutes long, and one side of these records can hold about 4.5 minutes of music at most. So this particular recording is split across 8 records, 4 double-sided discs, in other words, and these are bound together in this album, which is in fact where the term album comes from. Okay, so how does this device work then? Incidentally, you can see the famous HMV dog Nipper there, staring into the horn of the gramophone and wondering where his master's voice is coming from. His master's voice, of course, is what HMV stands for. This particular gramophone does have a horn, of course, but unlike the one in the HMV logo, the horn on this gramophone is internal. It's inside the wooden cabinet underneath the platter. So here is how it works. First of all, you have to wind up the gramophone using this crank handle. This feels about right. So the handle's connected to a spring motor, so when I turn the handle it's winding up a coiled spring that drives the platter. So now I need to insert a needle into the sound box. So here's the needle. I'm not really sure if you can see that very well, but it's made of steel, which is relatively soft steel, so that it doesn't cause too much damage to the surface of the record. Now, ideally, you need a new needle for every record that you play. So to listen to Beethoven's Fifth, I'd need to use 8 needles, one for each side of the 4 discs. And that's because when the needle makes contact with the spinning record, it wears the needle down, and if you reuse a worn needle, it's likely to damage the groove of the record. So I'm going to place this needle into the sound box and then use this screw here, tighten this up to hold the needle in place. So the sound box contains a diaphragm which converts the movement of the needle as it tracks the groove into sound waves, which are amplified acoustically as they travel down the horn into the cabinet and eventually emerge out of the mouth of the horn, which is behind the doors in the cabinet. So there's no volume control as such, because there's no electronic amplifier. If you want to adjust the volume, all you can really do is open or close the doors, which I'll show you in just a moment. So to play the record, what I need to do next is take off the brake. And the platter starts spinning. There's a little speed indicator on the side there to show whether it's up to speed or not. And I can say it is showing about 78 RPM at this point. And so now I'm going to place the needle down in the start of the groove, and let's have a listen. Okay, so what you saw there was that when the needle reached the end of the record, it triggered the automatic brake mechanism which stopped the platter from spinning. And now, if I want to continue listening to Beethoven's Fifth, I'd need to take the record off, flip it over, replace the old needle with a new one, and so on. So it's a very different experience from listening to orchestral music live, of course, but I think it has its own attractions as an activity in its own right. So that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching.